Hello again. This is David Breslow back here with you. I am the founder of Performance Success Strategies and the author of Wired to Win. Also the creator of Wired to Win, the most popular golf performance product on the market today. So stay tuned because in a moment I want to talk to you about today's tip. In today's tip, I would like to talk to you about practice. Practice, practice, practice. You know, golf is a really interesting game to me. I work with a number of athletes from a number of different sports over the past 25 to 30 years. And I find golf the most fascinating, obviously for several reasons, but one of the most important reasons that stands out to me is that golfers actually practice in a place where they don't actually play the game. Tennis players practice on a tennis court, hockey players practice on a hockey rink, and basketball players practice on a basketball court. But golfers, isn't it interesting how much time golfers spend in a place called a driving range or a practice range, a kind of place where they don't actually play the game. And then when they get to the golf course, they get a little bit confused sometimes as to why it's different than what they were doing at the practice range. Well, of course it's different. The conditions are different. So practice, practice, practice is what I want to talk about today. Here's my question for you. What do you define as the purpose of your practice sessions? Now, over the years, I've gotten a number of different answers to that. And common things like, well, to hone my swing, to get the groove of my swing down, to get the rhythm of my swing down, to work on my mechanics, and so on and so forth. Pretty typical answers, right? Well, here's something I'd like you to consider. Practice, the purpose of practice is to repeat the habits of success. Write that down. It's to repeat the habits of success. And many of the golfers I've talked to or I've witnessed at the practice range are not doing that. You know the common thing that's happening in, what I call the Gatling gun approach, where you just bring one ball after the next, after the next, after the next, and you're hitting, you're hitting, you're hitting, you're hitting. And maybe you're working on a little bit of mechanic or a little bit of targeting or whatever it is you're working on, but it's done way too fast, in my opinion. So here's what I'm suggesting. If you go into your practice sessions with this as your reason for being there, and I'm talking about to practice the habits of success, then your sessions will be different. You will probably hit fewer golf balls, but they'll be more effective in terms of how that translates to on the course. So what do I mean by practicing the habits of success? The way you're successful on the golf course is by how you use your mind, your body, your emotions, and your energy. Those are, anybody who knows about Wired to Win, which is my signature golf product, golf performance product, anybody who knows anything about me or about Wired to Win knows that those are the tools that I consider to be your power tools for the mental game. Those are the only 4 elements of the mental game as far as I'm concerned. Your mind, your body, your emotions, and your energy. And when those things are trained properly, when those things are operating in sync, in alignment, undisturbed, okay, everything you do on the golf course is going to be better. It just will be. Because when a golfer is aligned mentally, physically, emotionally, and energetically, they are going to produce better outcomes. I don't care what your level is right now, this will be true. So let's get back to practice for a moment. What do I mean by practicing the habits of success? Well, after you hit a ball, you want to do something mentally, something physically, something emotionally to get yourself back in alignment before you hit the next ball. Now that might take 10 seconds or so, not a lot of time, but at least what you're doing is you're developing something that you can take out onto the golf course. Because look, when you're on the golf course, you don't get to drop another ball. You don't get to hit 3 or 4 shots in a row unless you own a golf course or you've rented one, or it's super, super slow when you're out there. But under normal conditions, you don't get to do any of that stuff. You hit one shot, it counts, and you move on. But you're at the practice range now. So why don't you practice the kinds of things you want to do when you're actually out on the golf course? So after you hit each shot, instead of judging it and reacting to it one way or the other, it didn't go where you wanted it to go, or you shanked it, or it landed, 20 yards to the left or 20 yards to the right, whatever it is, get out of that judgmental garbage, okay? Do something mentally, physically, and emotionally. And that means check on what you're thinking. What are you thinking? Start adjusting your thoughts for the next shot. Be more effective in terms of getting ready for the next ball. Adjust those thoughts as necessary. Do something physically. Shake out your arms, shake out your legs, turn your body, bend down, touch your toe. Do anything to loosen up your body, because we all know that a loose body, a body that is not tense, is a more powerful body. Okay? So do something mentally. Take a look at what you're thinking. Start looking forward to the next shot. Start thinking forward. Start adjusting your mind a little bit. Do something physically. Loosen your body up. Shake the hands, shake the arms, shake the face, and do whatever. Do whatever it takes to loosen yourself up. Do something emotionally. Think about being forward with your emotions. Be excited. Be anxious towards what you want to do on the next shot. Be excited. Think about what you want now on the next shot. Even if you hit a great shot just now, think about doing it again. Think about what that felt like to hit a great shot, to feel what you felt when you hit the ball exactly the way you wanted to. And it went exactly where you wanted it to go. Okay, there's some emotions going on there. Use those in preparation for the next ball. So now you're doing something mentally, physically, and emotionally. And like I said before, if you're used to hitting 50 or 100 or 200 balls, you'll probably hit 15 or 20% less if you do this, which is fine. But what you're going to be doing is taking advantage of each shot in a different way than what you've been doing. And now this translates to the golf course, because now when you're out on the golf course, you can go back to that mental, physical, emotional routine that you just honed at the practice range. So I hope that made sense to you. And I hope you really take that out and put it to work. As always, don't just listen to this and nod your head and go, Take it out and apply it. That's the only way you're going to know. So I hope you enjoyed today's tip about practice. And if you're interested in learning about Wired to Win, if you don't know about it yet, or about me, you're more than welcome to go to www.mentalgolfcoaching.com and take a look at the information there. Learn whatever you need to learn. Everything is there that you need to know about me and Wired to Win and why it is so well received in the golf industry. So thank you for listening. I look forward to talking to you next time. Take care.